Greetings, Rockstar Nation. Just a little heads up about this episode. The opening and closing segments with myself and Mark Turner were recorded before we did the Spotlight segment. The Spotlight was a little last minute, and I spoke to Rockstar Pro champion Ron Mathis. Be forewarned, there is a lot of profanity, and Mark Turner, for obvious reasons, chose not to be there. So please take that into account before you listen to the episode. Enjoy!
Rockstar Pro! Rockstar Pro! Rockstar Pro! Rockstar Pro!
Welcome to Backstage Pass, Rockstar Pro Wrestling's official podcast. It's the ultimate opportunity to look behind the scenes at Rockstar Pro and hear from the wrestlers themselves. Now here are your hosts, Kris and Mark Turner.
Hello and welcome to episode 27 of Backstage Pass, Rockstar Pro Wrestling's official podcast. We hope to not join the 27 club alongside Jimi Hendrix and Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, number 27.
Amongst others. Well,
I didn't.
If all goes well, by the end of this episode, we'll both still be alive.
I hope so. Well, I've brushed with death a few times the past few weeks.
That's true. You know, we might as well just immediately discuss the elephant in the room.
Yeah, let's do it.
This giant brace around your neck. You've taken to wearing the tie on the outside of it, I see.
Yeah, I mean, the neck, frankly, is just giving me so much pain. I don't want to take the brace off to put the tie back on. But I'm still professional.
Yeah,
you
look good. But just in case our listeners haven't been around the last few weeks, this injury, aggravated injury, is all thanks to the new Rockstar Pro champion, Ron Mathis.
Yeah, that it is. And frankly, I have no idea why he's attacking me, to be honest with you. I mean, the first time he gave me the ATM pile driver, I was just in the ring. I was plugging Unstoppable. It was the Wednesday before the pay-per-view. Yeah. I was excited for the pay-per-view. It was a hell of a lineup. And Mathis just comes out unbeknownst to me and attacks me for no reason whatsoever. And I always thought that this guy was my friend. I mean, we don't talk about this stuff on air. Right. But, I mean, backstage before the show, before this new Ron Mathis at 3, before then, we would chat it up all the time.
Yeah.
We had a great time. We had a great relationship there. And apparently, I don't know, I guess I did something to piss him off because he just attacked me. And I'm having nightmares about it, to be honest.
That ATM driver, I think, left a bad taste in the mouth of the entire audience. That was shocking.
It doesn't taste good, doesn't feel good. There's nothing good about that move at all.
But one time apparently wasn't enough.
No, I mean, then what was it, like the next week? I don't even know. My whole timeline's out of whack after all this.
Oh, that's okay. But, you've been dropped on your head.
Right. And Mathis just, after he won the belt, he was going to be interviewed in the ring by JP, who does a wonderful job ring announcing. He's a great interviewer.
Yeah.
And Mathis refused to be interviewed unless I did it, and I'm totally unprepared for this. You know? I'm just commentating the show.
You were just recovering, too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was... I still had effects of the previous ATM pile driver, but, I was feeling slightly better, and I basically felt forced to go into the ring.
Yeah.
He basically demanded it, and, what the champion wants, he gets. I get in the ring, and I try to conduct myself, and before he even physically attacks me, he goes after me personally. He goes after my family and everything. I don't know what that was about. I mean, bringing my brother into this. I have no idea what's going on with that. But then, of course, he drops me on my head again, and thus I'm wearing this neck brace.
Yeah. Ron Mathis has unquestionably changed.
He's changed. No doubt about it.
A dangerous man. I think it's a scary thing for us to see him pull individuals who are not wrestlers into the ring and treat them as if they were.
Right. That's that area where you cross the line there. I mean, it's bad enough if you attack wrestlers when it's not a match, but at least they've had training. They understand. They've taken moves before.
Right.
But when you start grabbing announcers, you name it. I mean, that is a line right there.
Yeah. So just in case you haven't been paying attention, we're talking about the actions of Rockstar Pro Champion. I have to get used to saying that.
Right.
Ron Mathis, after he won the championship at Unstoppable.
Yes, he did. As much as I dislike the guy,
yeah,
you got to give him credit. He did defeat Kris, who's the best there is around.
You know what? It was a hell of a match.
Right.
And he beat him cleanly.
He did.
Yeah, it was a great match, and I think that's what twists the knife even more.
Right.
Is that this excellent match, two of our best competitors, and it's not enough for Mathis to be on top. He has to run everyone else down. He has to start attacking Rockstar employees. I don't understand why he can't just hold that title, with the same respect and dignity that Jake did.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Mathis. If I have to guess why he's changed his attitude, it's because he's always wanted that Rockstar Pro Championship.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the only single thing that's eluded him here in Rockstar Pro. I mean, the guy was undefeated throughout all of 2012.
Right.
You name it, the guy's done it. But he hadn't won that championship. And frankly, in OI4K, I guess in his mind, he thought he was kind of the third wheel of that group, maybe.
Right.
Behind Jake and Dave, because, they're brothers. They've known each other their whole lives.
Sure. And he did put up a lot of resistance when Dustin Reyes was invited into the group.
Yeah, he did. And I'm not sure what's going through his mind, frankly. Part of me almost wonders if he just used Jake and Dave the whole time to turn on them, to get a title shot, to get their respect. I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
Sure. The man's dark. He's sadistic.
Yeah, and he certainly let the Rockstar Nation know what he thinks of them as well.
Yeah. For those that didn't see that, last Wednesday, well, I guess I shouldn't say last since we don't know when people will be hearing this. But,
no, it'll be last Wednesday.
But the last Wednesday when Ron Mathis defeated Zachary Wentz, the rookie sensation, after the match, the words he said to the Rockstar Nation were just... I've never witnessed anything like it. I've never heard anything like it before in my life. He was attacking the Rockstar Nation as a whole, and even individually picking out people in the crowd and personally breaking them down. Yeah. It was sick.
His actions are inexcusable and unconscionable, I would argue. But I think we need to cover more. Obviously, Mathis winning the title wasn't the only thing that happened at Unstoppable. It's a great show. It's We'll get the plug in, right? It's available on DIYWrestling.com.
That it is, and you can pick up the DVD here at the Rockstar Pro Arena any Wednesday, anytime you come here.
Exactly. So, there was a lot of great action, I would say, at Unstoppable. Obviously, the championship changing hands was kind of the headline of the evening, but we also saw some other great matches. In particular, I'm thinking of Ganger versus Matt Tremont, which was gory as all get out.
That's an understatement.
Oh,
to
my
put
God.
It lightly there. Those guys, they
right?
Yes, they had a hardcore match, and you name the weapon, they did it. They had light tubes all over the place. Yeah. Did you see Ganger's back at the end of the show?
Oh, my God.
I've never seen anything. And Ganger is so sick that the guy walks around proudly of, glass sticking out of his back.
It looked like ground chuck.
It was, there were, Death Valley drivers through light tubes. There was all sorts of madness. That's why right there, Matt Tremont's won King of the Deathmatch before. He's known as one of the best deathmatch wrestlers in the world. Yeah. And we saw it right there. And Ganger went toe-to-toe with that man in his environment.
Yeah,
and we saw how tough Ganger is. We all know how tough he is, but he proved it at a whole new level at Unstoppable.
Yeah. There's also, a number of other great matches. We saw Williams, we thought it might shut Maverick's mouth for a while, but that proves to be harder than initially thought.
Right. Williams did defeat Kyle Maverick, but you got to give Kyle Maverick some credit there. This was the biggest match of his career, I'd have to say.
Yeah.
Against the biggest opponent on a pay-per-view. He's never had a match like this, and he went toe-to-toe. There were a few moments where it looked like Kyle Maverick had that match won, but in the end, he's called the baddest man alive for a reason. Aaron Williams did get the victory.
That's true. And we got to see our good old friend Duke Beefhammer.
Yeah, that's right.
win not just another match, but a gauntlet match.
I'll tell you what, Beefhammer's been on quite a bit of a roll.
He really has.
I don't know where this is coming from, but after he picked up his first victory ever against Alex Colon while he was coached by Jake Kris, ever since that happened on Amped, he's been on a bit of a roll here. He's been winning most of his matches, which, I mean, I just love to see it. I don't know about you. I love to see a kid that tries that hard get some success here in Rockstar Pro.
I feel the exact same way. And let's not just focus on Unstoppable. I have to I have to comment on the quality of the Wednesday night Amp shows ever since Unstoppable. The Rockstar Pro wrestlers have been on their game. It has been a remarkable show every Wednesday throughout the entire month of March and going into April now.
Yeah, 100% agreement here. I mean, we get huge crowds at the Friday pay-per-views, no doubt about it. And but people that are going to only the Friday shows,
right?
They really need to start coming on Wednesdays. I know that's a harder day to get to in the middle of the week, but it is well worth the $6. I mean, there are occasions that what happens on a Wednesday rivals matches, sometimes surpasses a Friday. I mean, like last Wednesday, as much as we talked about how despicable Mathis was, I mean, there was magic in the air that night.
Oh, yeah.
When Jake came out and we had an impromptu Rockstar Pro Championship match, I mean, I felt goosebumps all over my body. I've only felt that a handful of times in Rockstar Pro. I felt it right there. That was a moment.
Yeah.
And everybody needs to start coming to every single Wednesday if they can make it,
right.
if they can afford it.
It's great stuff. And we saw a new LuchaCore champ crowned last week as well.
Yeah, another surprise. Alex Colon won the title by countout due to JT Davidson's crew there, JTD Inc.
Yeah.
Flex Jordan hiding under the ring, grabbing the legs of Dave Crist. What's that about?
It's such an old school move.
Right.
I wonder, do you think he ran into Jerry Lawler under there?
He might have. Maybe Hornswoggle had a small section under
maybe,
there.
Maybe.
I'm not sure. But, yeah, and that just goes to show JT Davidson, what's going through his mind. He knows the rules of that match. He knows the title can change hands on a countout. We've never seen it happen in Rockstar Pro, but
until last week.
But JT Davidson knew, and he got his client another LuchaCore championship. Alex Colon, he's won a lot of titles here.
That's true.
He's what, a 4-time LuchaCore champion now, I believe?
I've lost count.
Yeah, I can't. Can I count that high? He's almost in Booker T territory. I know that.
Getting there.
He's getting there.
But let's not only focus on the past. Let's focus on the future, the immediate future. This Friday, April 3rd, at 7:30 p.m., that's the time of the first bell. Obviously, doors open at 7. Here at 1106 East 3rd Street in Dayton, Ohio, your Rockstar Pro Arena presents Spring Break. And it's going to be awesome.
Yes, it is. I mean, you know how good Rockstar Pro has been lately. It's been on point. And you take all of those superstars that have done great, and you add to the mix. Who are we adding here? Kevin Sullivan?
That's right.
The franchise...
Sullivan, my son!
That's right. The franchise Shane Douglas. You add those guys to the mix, and even an indie sensation like David Starr, the product, you throw him in there, I mean, this show's going to be insane.
It really is. So yeah, let's talk about some of that. We know she made the announcement last week, challenging Samantha Heights. We will see Nevaeh in action at Spring Break.
Yeah, we haven't seen her wrestle in quite a bit here at Rockstar Pro. It's always a treat when the Gem City Queen steps in the ring. One of the best female wrestlers, period, in the world, in Nevaeh.
Absolutely. That'll be worth coming for alone. Additionally, as you said, David Starr of Juicy Product, is that correct?
Yes, one half of Juicy Product.
Right. He'll be taking on our own Dark Star, Matt Taylor.
Well, Matt Taylor, how about the role he's been on?
Yeah.
He's been winning every match practically every week for a while now. He beat Aaron Williams last week.
He did.
On Amped in a great match. It's always a great match when they hook up.
Absolutely.
But he has his eyes set on the Rockstar Pro Championship, and if he can defeat a guy like David Starr, a guy that's won championships practically everywhere he's gone in the United States, that's another victory he could put under his belt. But that's going to be a tough challenge right there.
Absolutely. He is a man on a mission.
Yes.
I'm not talking about Mo.
No, not at all.
No, Matt Taylor, like you said, he has his sights set on Rockstar Gold, and he has a great new t-shirt available.
That he does.
So if you're into Bruce Campbell, if you like Evil Dead or Army of Darkness, and you like Matt Taylor, I have a feeling that's a good cross-section of consumers.
If you only like one of them, I would say pick it up anyway.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe you're a big Matt Taylor fan. Maybe you've never seen any of the Evil Dead trilogy. Well, this is a chance to do just that.
He should sell the DVDs, too.
Well, maybe. I wonder if he could superimpose his face over Bruce Campbell's.
I like it.
I would watch that.
I would, too.
But I digress. Let's get back to the action. We have one that we've been waiting for a while, and I think Aaron is pretty passionate about winning this match. We have Aaron Williams versus that son of a bitch, DJ Hyde.
Yeah, that's right. DJ Hyde, Aaron Williams, if you ask him, he feels like he's been held down, not in this region, but more nationally when it comes to independent professional wrestling. Mm-hmm. And DJ Hyde is probably the one man that's been doing that most of all. I mean, Aaron Williams, if you ask, I was going to say if you ask me, but if you ask anybody around here, if there's one man that deserves to be booked in Combat Zone Wrestling, like full time, from this area, it is Aaron Williams. Yeah. And he's been told time and time again that there's no room for him on the card, that, they have somebody else there, and it's usually some guy that DJ Hyde's buddies with that gets booked on the show instead. Mm-hmm. This is the chance right here Aaron Williams has to prove to DJ Hyde, match one-on-one with the owner of Combat Zone Wrestling. Mm-hmm. He can prove that he deserves to be in CZW full-time. And let's not forget, after this event, after spring break, he's going to the Combat Zone for Best of the Best, the biggest tournament, single-man tournament in professional wrestling. Mm-hmm. And that's a huge opportunity for him as well. He can prove to DJ Hyde in 2 nights that he's one of the best around.
I know that the Rockstar Nation is with me when I say I cannot wait to watch the baddest man alive just chop DJ Hyde down.
I can't wait.
So that's going to be a great match. And as you mentioned before, we've got some amazing, big-name guests coming. Ganger will be taking on, as Mark already mentioned, the one, the only WCW legend, Kevin Sullivan.
How about this matchup here? Kevin Sullivan, he's known as a tough son of a bitch.
He is, and he's taking on our toughest son of a bitch.
Yeah, and he's taking on Ganger, and Ganger. Ganger, I can't imagine what's going through his mind facing a legend like Kevin Sullivan. I mean, this might be the biggest name that he's ever faced.
It's true.
One-on-one. A huge opportunity for him. I mean, this is the kind of match where everybody might see. If he can get a victory over Kevin Sullivan, they can really see that name Ganger, and it can get out known outside of Ohio.
And honestly, just seeing him survive that match with Tremont, I think Kevin Sullivan might be in for a surprise.
Right. Better not take him lightly.
That's true. It's true. Also, our penultimate match here, we've got Jake Kris versus his own hero, right? Dubbed the franchise versus the franchise match.
I love it. It's true.
Jake Kris, the franchise of Rockstar, taking on his childhood hero, the franchise Shane Douglas.
This match, this means the absolute world to Jake right here. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know if you've heard, but Jake, I believe he's been saying in the ring, and he's been posting a lot on social media about how spring break, it might be his last match.
I know. It's kind of shocking.
Yes, he's had a lot of bangs and bruises, and we heard a few months ago, even on this podcast, he said he had about a year left, maybe?
Well, I thought I remember him saying he had 3 or 4 years left on him, and he wanted to, his biggest goal was to retain the Rockstar Pro Championship until the end of that run.
Yeah.
Maybe losing that championship has really, given him pause to think.
Right, well, I mean, when you're Jake Kris and you put your body on the line the way he does every single week, I mean, you're bound to get banged up. And I mean, I'm sure nobody fights hurt more than Jake. Yeah. I mean, maybe you could throw Aaron's name in there and a few other people, but there's only a select few that put their bodies on the line
Jake
like
wasn't
that.
Even supposed to be in a match last week, and we saw him deliver a suicide.
Right, and he got pile-driven onto the concrete floor, onto a chair, and he barely made it back in the ring. I mean, the man cares so much about Rockstar Nation. He's willing to put his body on the line, and this could be his last match ever. And I'm sure he doesn't want his career to end. There's no doubt about that. Right. But if he could choose an opponent to end his career on, going one-on-one with your idol, that's pretty sweet, if you can say it right there. So this match means so much to Jake, and I'm sure anybody that's relatively near Dayton, Ohio, that likes Jake Kris, they need to be here for spring break to witness what possibly could be his last match ever.
Yeah, be here to see that former Rockstar Pro champion versus the very first Extreme Championship Wrestling champion. Finally, we have our title match for the Rockstar Pro Championship. Matt Tremont challenging, as I said, it pains me to say it, our champion Ron Mathis.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Tremont, the bulldozer, I think that guy earned a title shot at Unstoppable.
Yeah.
When he beat Ganger in that crazy hardcore match we previously talked about, I mean, that proved that this guy is as tough as they come.
Right.
And Ron Mathis, that guy is tough as well. He's been in many death matches. This one's probably going to get wild.
Well, this isn't a death match to my
it's
knowledge,
not.
right?
Right.
This is going to be, your classic, I guess, ruled wrestling match. But with two guys like that in there, I really don't think you're going to see a whole lot of, arm bars and go behinds.
I agree. And, I'm just speculating here, but the referee of that match might give a little bit of leeway here when you have two brawlers like that.
I think he or she will have to, really.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, we'll be 2 minutes into that and there'll be a DQ.
But
nobody wants that.
But that match looks sensational on paper. And, at this point, I just want anybody to take the title off Ron Mathis.
Yeah.
I mean, the man... I don't want this guy to be carrying the Rockstar Pro banner on his back across the nation. I mean, the guy's just a jerk. I don't want people to be thinking like, oh, that's what
Rockstar is about.
Yeah, that's what Rockstar's about, is this guy here. I mean, if somebody like Tremont, I mean, the guy's tough.
He is.
Tough as nails, but he's a great person. Though.
Right.
I mean, when you talk to him, you know the love he has for professional wrestling, and he loves Rockstar Pro. I mean, the guy...
And the fans.
Yeah, he loves everybody. So, I mean... If that's a guy that could proudly wear the Rockstar Pro belt, I'm all for it.
Absolutely. So be here Friday, April 3rd. First bell's at 7:30 for Spring Break, the next Rockstar pay-per-view. So we might as well, I guess, send it on out to our Spotlight segment. We haven't recorded it yet, but we're hoping to get somebody soon. So let's send it to the Spotlight.
It's time for the Rockstar Wrestler Spotlight.
Okay, here we are with the Spotlight segment. I suppose I should be honored. We have with us the new and defending Rockstar Pro champion, Relentless Ron Mathis. Now, I don't want to cut you off before you even start talking, but I should let our fans know that for obvious reasons, Mark Turner has decided that he doesn't want to be in this room during this interview.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty obvious reasons. Unfortunately for Mark, I needed to make a statement, and he was there, and they like him, so, it is what it is.
Yeah, but, I mean, that's the thing, man. Mark's a human being. Mark's my friend, and just... I should have respect for you as the champion, man, but what you did to Mark,
For one, your respect isn't really that important to me. I'm doing something more important than people know or can comprehend. So really, someday you'll understand. If you do now, isn't really important to me. And as for Mark being your friend or whatever, the second you start being let in the building before the fans, that's the business. You're subject to what happens in the business. So I don't feel any pity for him because he's in my world.
I mean, Ron, I'm just a fan that happened, to get a podcast. Like, do you am I, a target potentially just because I happen to have some connection to this company?
There's no target, but if I need to send a message is going to be sent.
Well, I mean, fuck, that's kind of a hard thing to deal with when you're trying to interview somebody,
Well, I'm feeling pretty calm right now, so as long as you stay on your toes, we should be all right.
All right. Well, obviously, you've made your thoughts pretty clear to the Rockstar Nation over the last few weeks. Well, you turned your back on Jake and the OI4K at 3. Unstoppable, you completed that, I guess, if I may, betrayal of OI4K by winning the championship. And don't get me wrong, I think you're a great wrestler. I think, you deserve it as much as anybody else who fights for that championship. But when I see you act the way you do, it's hard for me it's really difficult as a fan. And you know me, Ron. I bought your T-shirt, but I choose not to wear it anymore because of your actions here these last few weeks.
We're in a sport where what's supposed to matter the most is wins and losses.
Yeah,
that's what's supposed to be the most important thing. But it's become to where it's about 5-star matches and stupid chants, and that was what last week was all about. Really, that little meltdown I had. It's just about the Beyond the Rail and the internet wrestling community just getting on my damn nerves.
Yeah,
how was winning the match not make me the better man? I won twice. I beat him in 6 minutes last time, and they still claim he's better than me. And then they say, I think I've even read, it was because he had a broken neck and a broken back. No, he didn't. I broke them. It's excuse after excuse after excuse. If I was wanting to make excuses like that, I'd be called a pussy. But for some reason, it's okay for them on Beyond the Rail to make excuses for Jake Kris. It's fucking retarded.
So, is this a personal thing against the Kris, Jake in particular? You were a part of OI4K. We heard for months and months and months. You guys are family. You guys are a team that loved and respected each other, and family. We heard that so much, and you just turned it all away for championship?
What was I supposed to do? Did you want me just to stay as the number 3 guy in a group my whole career? What did you want me to do? Where was I going to go?
You don't think there was any room for advancement within?
No. Everyone would make it something this big personal thing. But what am I going to do as the number 3 guy in a group? They were in the group first. They brought me in. And what was going to happen to my career? I was getting the constant cheers. I was getting good spots on the card.
Yeah.
But where was I going to go from there? Explain to me how I was going to reach any more level from inside that group. It wasn't personal. It was a career evolution. I needed to take the next step, and that was how I did it. And the proof is in the pudding. Yeah. How can you argue with me as I sit here as Rockstar champion?
Well, I can't argue the effectiveness, right? I can't argue, and I wouldn't argue that you're not a great wrestler. I think you're a great wrestler. Hell, you were undefeated for an entire year here at Rockstar, right? And people loved you. You know what? I still think people want to love you, but I don't think you let them with this whole "I am God" bullshit. What's that about?
If they want to love me, the way they should love me is by quitting trying to run my business. They need to quit saying who we need to bring in, quit saying what matches need to happen. They're overstepping their bounds. Like I said last week, they think they're like our best friends. They think they're family. Do you know that on occasion, I will get messages, well, not so much anymore, but I used to get messages from fans asking me for a ride to the building.
Oh, jeez.
Are you fucking serious? A ride to the building. These motherfuckers just need a sense of reality. I'm a performer. I'm an athlete. Yeah. They're behind the guardrail for a reason. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, but I can't be friends with every one of you. And the sense of entitlement the Rockstar Nation has that I have to be friends with them makes me not want to even be social with them. I'm not on the same level as them. I'm not normal people. I'm God. So I don't need to associate with every single one of them.
Well, I can see that, right? And I'm sure, a lot of wrestlers probably deal with that, right? With fans who get a little too involved, right? Or maybe it gets a little too personal with them, right? But I think there are, dare I say, more mature ways to deal with that than pulling Mark Turner into the ring, insulting his family, and dropping him on his head, than, personally attacking, not physically, mind you, verbally, members of the Rockstar Nation. I think maybe I'm just old school. I think a champion should act like a champion. And if you ask me, when I look back at Jake Kris, I think these past Rockstar champions, and I think they acted like champions. I don't know what a god acts like, but apparently it's different.
I've earned the right to act however the hell I want. I've earned that right. I've been here since day one.
Yes, you have.
Do you remember some of the names that they were trying to push as main eventers at that time?
Yeah.
Do you remember Eric Fallen main eventing shows?
I do.
Do you remember Brutal Bellman main eventing shows?
Yeah.
Do you remember some of this horse shit?
Yeah.
This is what I was dealing with when I was keeping this company afloat. Jabronis and jackasses like them in the main event, right. And my blood, sweat, and tears keeps the goddamn doors open. And then they want me to become just a part of an act, the OI4K, which freaking came in the doors after I had built it. Look at the house that was there that night for the main event cage match that I was in. And then they come in the back door and, oh yeah, you can come be part of what we built. No, motherfucker, you're part of what I built. This is fucking ridiculous that people don't get any of this. How am I the bad guy in any of this?
Well, that's the thing is, it seemed to me, maybe I misinterpreted, but it seemed to me like you were actually having fun during some of those OI 4K matches. Do you remember, Kane? Do you remember Clamps? I mean,
That's the problem. That's the problem. I was coming here and I was having fun. This isn't fun. This is work. Mm-hmm. Now I have fun when I succeed. Back then, I remember I'd lose matches, and then I'd be bummed, I'd be down, and I'd be like, oh, but man, did you see that little thing I did? That was fun, man. I'm entertaining. Yeah. Why the hell would I come back and say anything but good thing I won or shit I lost? Why is there anything else in the factor? There shouldn't be, and that's what I realized. I don't know what's wrong with that again. What is wrong with one bettering themselves? And again, I'm trying to better myself, and I'm the bad guy. If people can't even comprehend one trying to better themselves, that's how I know I'm God. Because if they can't even comprehend one trying to be the best they can be, that I'm not one of them. I'm not on their level. If you can't understand my commitment to excellence, you're a fucking peon. Period.
Well, Ron, I don't know. I feel like there's a difference between a commitment to excellence and hubris. I think when you come out and say, I'm the best at Rockstar, we have to acknowledge that. You're right, you're the champion. When you come out and say, I am God, and none of you are worthy to, kiss my feet, I may be paraphrasing, but I mean, I'm pretty damn close, right? How can, not discounting respect, right? You think fans are going to show up to see you treat them that way?
The people don't listen. You see, that's the problem. They don't listen. Me holding the belt does not mean a thing to those people when it should. It should be the absolute end-all, be-all.
Yeah.
But that's not what it is to those stupid people. It's more about 5-star matches and chanting, this is awesome. Why the hell is it about that? I'm going to grind someone to the ground and drill their face into that canvas until I walk away with the belt. Why the hell should anything matter other than who walks away with the bigger payday? Why the hell does anything else matter about these stupid-ass 5-star matches and if the crowd's chanting stupid shit? Right. I don't care. Wins and losses, wins and losses, wins and losses. And there are no losses when you talk about me. There's only wins. And that's why things are the way they are. And if people can't comprehend that simple math, they're not on my level. They're peons.
So it's not about entertainment. It's not about making friends, clearly. It's about the win-loss record.
It's about the win-loss. Isn't that how sports work?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen someone play in the Super Bowl or the World Series and get beat handily? And then be on the internet talking about how much fun that game was, what a special moment that game was. No, right. They're like, motherfucker, I lost.
Yeah.
Why in this sport do you lose and then get on there and be happy? Like when I beat Jake in that impromptu match. Yeah. He's online thanking the fans for making it such a special moment. Motherfucker, you lost.
Yeah.
What the hell is special about that?
I wish I had an answer. I guess it was a special moment to us.
Losing?
That he would stand up to you and say, look, I'm not going to take it. You talking shit about the crowd.
I'm the villain, correct?
Well,
in your logic, I'm not. Don't worry, we're just talking.
Okay.
I'm the villain, correct? In this scenario.
I'm not going to call you a villain. What I will say is that attacking innocent people, and verbally or physically, is a villainous thing to do.
All right, so in not so many ways you're saying, yes, I would be the villain. So in that case, the hero would be Jake Kris.
I suppose.
Okay, then let's go ahead and make it compared to what anyone in this country can relate to. That makes Ron Mathis Iraq and Jake Kris the United States of America. What if we invaded Iraq and got our asses annihilated? They just beat the hell out of us, bombed everyone. The U.S. Army is wiped out. Are we going to come back and like, well, that was a good war. It was real special. Too bad we lost. Darn it. No, because in no other reality does losing be negated by a great performance. Fuck your great performance. Okay. Win.
Okay.
Win.
Okay.
Jesus.
So, and you've said it. You're good at winning, right?
I'm the best at winning. When was the last time I lost? I have not lost since I put Jake Kris through that barbed wire board. Look at the stats. Have not lost once. Last week I won 2 matches. Someone go back and watch the footage. Count the combined minutes of both matches. I bet you I successfully defended the title twice in a total 11 minutes.
That's pretty damn close. I gotta admit.
And no one's even fucking talking about it.
Well, we
but
are
they
now.
talked about Zachary Wentz's performance, though. He lost in 5 fucking minutes.
He did.
Fuck his performance. Right in front of his family.
Okay. So,
Lost in 5 minutes. What a performance. I embarrassed him in front of his family. What a performance. What a joke.
Okay, I think you said your piece. I guess Friday at Spring Break, you're taking on Matt Tremont, or should I say Matt Tremont's challenging you. Should we expect another win from Ron Mathis?
You know, the fact of the matter is Matt Tremont's actually my friend. We've both been jerked around on the East Coast, and we've been frustrated together, and we've related that to each other. But you know what? That does not matter on Friday, because he's coming here to try to steal from me the dynasty that I am building. And every single prophecy I have put forth has came true. You cannot deny that. Mm-hmm. And this Friday, I'm beating Matt Tremont.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Ron Mathis all but guaranteeing victory, correct, on Friday?
I'm guaranteeing victory.
There you go. Our current Rockstar Pro Champion claims he will remain Rockstar Pro Champion into the foreseeable future. I suppose I should thank you for being on the show. I wish Mark could be here with us, but I understand his reasons for choosing not to be.
Hey, do me a favor and tell Marky I said hi.
Okay.
Had enough Backstage Pass? Too bad! Here's more!
And we're back. That was our Spotlight segment. Not quite sure who was on it because we haven't organized it yet, but it'll happen and it'll be great.
I'm sure it was awesome.
Yeah.
They always are.
Yeah. So,
especially my questions, right?
Yeah, your questions are always awesome.
I try.
So we want to, again, extend a warm welcome to you to Spring Break, Friday, April 3rd at 7:30 p.m. here at 1106 East 3rd Street in Dayton, Ohio. That's the Rockstar Pro Arena.
Absolutely. It's going to be a spring break. We're going to party. This is better than Cancun right here.
Yeah.
This is what it's going to be. Everything on the line. Mathis defending the title. The franchise Shane Douglas in the house. Mm-hmm. Could be Kris' last match ever.
Yeah.
Kevin Sullivan's here.
Well, speaking of Kevin Sullivan.
Yep.
I'm mid-30s. You're early 30s, right?
I'm 30.
You just turned 30?
Just turned 30.
That's about as early 30s as you can get.
Yes.
So you probably vaguely remember the Dungeon of Doom.
Oh, how could I forget?
Right?
Who doesn't remember that?
Because that was, that had to be mid-90s, right?
Absolutely.
Right before the whole NWO craziness.
NWA was a craze too, but a little bit earlier, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, are we talking about the rap group or the...
I'm talking about the rap group.
Okay. See, I was thinking about the National
yeah.
Wrestling Alliance.
Oh, that was a craze too.
That's a craze that goes back a while.
But yeah, I heard that NWA group, they had some attitude.
They did.
They were with attitude.
Yeah, we're not going to go beyond that.
Okay, that's fine.
I think they were ninjas with attitude.
I like it.
So, Dungeon of Doom, right? Let's get back to this, right?
Back on topic to this other odd topic.
Yeah, possibly Kevin Sullivan, who will be here April 3rd, one of his most kind of remembered stables,
yes.
Right? Do you have a favorite member of the Dungeon of Doom?
Can we count?
Should we go through them?
Go through them for me.
Well,
yes.
There's obviously the Master.
Yes.
And then there's Sullivan, who's the Taskmaster. That might be a little confusing for some.
The Master and the Taskmaster. That was always... Yeah, I think that was confusing to everybody. I don't think anybody got that, to be honest.
I guess the Master was the master of all, whereas Sullivan only mastered tasks. That's how I understand it.
He already seems less threatening to me.
Well, that... See, I always thought that crazy black makeup on his forehead made him look insane.
Right. Who was the one big guy in the group? Do
you mean Vader when he joined?
No. Before that, what the hell is his name?
Earthquake. He was Shark.
Shark. Thank you. Yes, I was like, what was Earthquake's name in there? I couldn't remember. It was Shark.
John Tenta, right?
Man. Yeah, good time.
So there were those four, right? Because I already mentioned Vader. And Vader came in with that cool, crazy demon elephant helmet.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I actually forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was amazing, yeah.
There was the Zodiac.
The Zodiac.
Do you remember him?
I remember the Zodiac,
No, the correct answer is either yes or no. Right?
Yeah.
I think that was another Ed Leslie gimmick, right?
Yep. Another.
of one of many.
Yeah.
The man with no name.
Yeah. I think the biggest gimmick's just himself, to be honest. But...
So, are we at 5 now? Who am I missing? Mang. Mm-hmm. Right?
What a WCW career he had. He had that awesome, finishing hold where he was, massaging the neck of his opponent. It was great.
He had the golden thumb of doom.
Yeah, he did.
Right? And that weird picture on the back of his trunks that looked like something happening with lady parts.
Maybe it was. I don't know.
But I think, is that everybody? Well, the Giant. How could we forget the Giant?
Yeah. Yeah, the Giant I think we forgot about because he was the least ridiculous of everybody, yeah. Not often is a Giant
right.
not ridiculous.
Was the Yeti part of that, or was that later? That might have been later.
Frankly, a lot of those characters kind of roll into one in my mind. They're all kind of ridiculous.
So who is your favorite?
Well, honestly, my favorite moment with that, I would have to say when Hulk Hogan shows up in the dungeon, right?
Right.
I'm just going to count Hulk Hogan in the stable now because of this moment.
Okay, sure.
When Hulk Hogan shows up, wakes up, what is it? So he just wakes up in a dungeon?
Well, doesn't he fall in down a hole or through a wall or something?
What's happening, brother?
I believe his first 4 remarks are, where am I? I've never been here before.
Which you would think that could be the same remark.
Right.
But whatever.
There are no Hulkamaniacs here.
Which, that is a huge concern. I often find myself saying that when I walk into rooms.
Wait a minute.
There are no Hulkamaniacs here. Yeah. Nobody's wearing yellow. I don't know what's happening.
And then finally, perhaps most confusing, when he sticks his hand under some steaming water, he goes, it's not hot.
It's not hot.
It's not hot.
Now, we have to analyze this a little bit. He says it's not hot instead of saying...
Right. It's cold.
It's cold.
Or it's lukewarm.
or anything. Or really...
So he must have expected hot water, right?
Expected hot water, I guess.
So I think that's... we know that Hulk, as he walks into anywhere, expects... Hulkamaniacs.
To know where he is.
And hot water.
And hot water, yeah. I like to picture Hulk Hogan just... one day when he's done with WWE, which probably should have been here already, but it's not. And he just he works in an office, because Linda took all his money. That's natural.
Right.
He works in an office. There's a water cooler there where people, I don't know, maybe they're talking about the Dungeon of Doom or something. Right. They got the network one day. They're talking about it. And he walks over there, gets some water, and he goes, it's not hot, brother! And just knocks the water cooler down. Right. Water goes everywhere.
Jumps into a swimming pool, gets furious, and
he gets
swims out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Climbs out immediately.
Right. Get the beach patrol on that.
So you're going to ask me who my favorite is?
Who's your favorite? Give it to me, Kris.
My favorite would be some sort of... Oh, okay. My favorite would be Zodiac with a helmet on, cut in half, where half of it's Mang's helmet and half of it is Vader's helmet.
Whoa.
That would be my favorite Dungeon of Doom creation.
That is... Yeah. I think that's the way I kind of remember it in my mind, all these characters mixed together. I have a tough time differentiating them because they're all insanely ridiculous.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds to job to Hogan.
Yeah. And I'm sure Hogan was really happy when he heard he was going up against the Dungeon of Doom. And,
So, all that aside, Kevin Sullivan's going to be here.
The Taskmaster.
Nothing.
Oh, the Taskmaster himself will be here. The Master of Tasks
has
a task at hand.
Right. Taking on the Pitbull Ganger, that's his task.
That's a huge task.
It is. And, two, for lack of a better phrase, very hard men who are just
There should be a better phrase out there.
There probably is. But they're going to be giving it to each other. We've
gone off the rails a little bit here.
But you get the idea.
Yes.
Kevin Sullivan and Ganger are going to beat the shit out of each other. And it's going to be entertaining. And honestly, I think the same could be said about Jake Kris and Shane Douglas.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Shane Douglas, this guy,
he hits
tough
hard.
as nails. Yeah, and Jake Kris wants to prove that he's one of the best out there.
Right.
I mean, Shane Douglas, if he hasn't heard who Jake Kris is, he'll know who Jake Kris is after Friday. That's for sure.
Right, absolutely. And of course, as we mentioned, Matt Taylor versus David Starr, Aaron Williams versus DJ Hyde. You're probably going to see, it looks like Pompano take on Bruce Gray, maybe? I don't know. It might still be in the works.
Frankly, I don't care who Pompano's facing. I'm excited for it.
Well, he is your favorite homie.
He absolutely is.
And finally, our title match, Matt Tremont will be challenging Ron Mathis for the Rockstar Pro Championship.
I want to see the bulldozer bring the gold home.
Absolutely. I think I join you in that sentiment. So, I guess we need to remind everyone, right, to follow us online. We have our own website, rockstarprowrestling.com.
Absolutely.
Check that out first for all the latest, greatest Rockstar news. You can also go to Facebook for Rockstar's Facebook page. You can follow them on Twitter at Rockstar Pro Res. On YouTube, I believe it's just Rockstar Pro is the channel.
Yeah,
and
youtube.com/Rockstar Pro Wrestling.
Awesome, there we go. And on Spreaker, cool new website. Well, I don't know how new it is, but it's new to Rockstar in that you can follow all of your favorite Rockstar podcasts. That's Punks and Pinfalls, Real Alien Talk, and more.
Absolutely.
On Spreaker.com, we also upload those to the YouTube channel as well.
Yeah. I mean, Rockstar Pro is just growing, it seems, month by month.
It's true. So I guess we shouldn't get through this podcast without talking a little bit about, the E, right, as it were.
Let's do it.
Because we're just coming out of WrestleMania weekend. What'd you think? WrestleMania play button.
I'll tell you what.
Or 31, sorry.
Yeah, our friends called it WrestleMania Triangle. That was like what we were calling it.
Right.
We had a fun time. We had a lot of Kurt Angle and rectangle jokes going on. It was a good time. But I thought WrestleMania exceeded expectations.
Yeah? How high were your expectations?
Not very high, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it exceeded them. And I'll tell you what, the main event, I think most people thought Reigns and Lesnar being the last match, that was going to be like a train wreck. Nobody seemed to...
Right.
It was like they were going to boo Reigns out of the building.
Yeah.
Nobody was going to like anything that happened. But it ended up being fairly solid, I thought.
Yeah.
Like, it told a pretty good story. And then Rollins coming out, cashing it in, first person to steal a title at WrestleMania. I thought it was pretty ingenious how he didn't wait till the match to end.
Yeah. It didn't make sense to me at first, but the more I thought about it, the more brilliant it was.
I am 100% in agreement, because as it happened, I thought, why don't you just wait till the end when they're done beating each other up?
Right.
But really, both men were down, so he had twice the chance to pin somebody, and that way you didn't even have to pin a beast like Lesnar to win the title. It was pretty smart. I guess he architected
Architected the shit
That's
out
a word,
of it.
right?
Yeah, well, it is now.
I like it.
That IC title ladder match was fantastic as well.
That was fun. I mean, whenever you get those guys of that magnitude, throw a ladder in the mix, it's going to be awesome. Yeah.
Something that I thought watching this that, like circa 2000, Kris, never would have expected. I kind of wanted Rock to shut the fuck up.
I'm in agreement with you on that.
Yeah.
I think I even said during the segment, like, the segment was fine. The Ronda Rousey stuff was pretty fun.
Right.
It was like, if it was just more concise.
It became so long.
It lasted long. It should have been more concise, and it became a lot about The Rock when really...
Yeah, should have been about her.
Yeah, if you were going to utilize The Rock, maybe it should have been with a Reigns thing. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
The whole thing was strange, but it was fun. Yeah. My main highlight was I never thought that when Sting would show up to WWE, that his entrance would include an old Asian man banging a muffler. Yeah. I never thought I'd see that. He was banging a muffler during his entrance. I'm not sure how that connects to Sting.
I don't know either, but it sounded pretty cool.
It sounded pretty cool. I'm going to go bang a muffler this weekend maybe. I'm not sure.
That was a cool entrance. Rusev's entrance was amazing.
Yeah.
Triple H's was just batshit loco.
It was insane. I'm glad you're with me on that, because I don't know what was going on, at all. All I know that this is what should have happened.
Okay.
Triple H has the Terminator entrance, right?
Yeah.
Why didn't Sting bring in RoboCop?
Yeah.
Oh, he was RoboCop WCW.
That would have been perfect.
If we I would have much rather seen RoboCop versus Terminator than Sting versus Triple H. That's a main event.
Book that for WrestleMania Play Button 2.
Play Button 2.
Or whatever it's going to be called next year.
Yeah, I don't know.
But more important than that, more exciting than WrestleMania. I'll make the claim right now.
Okay.
Spring Break, Friday, April 3rd, right here at Rockstar Pro Arena. Come check it out. It's going to be awesome. Come every Wednesday to Amped. As we said at the top of the show, Amped has been phenomenal of late. Just come check out some Rockstar. It's great stuff.
You said it all right there, my man.
All right.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
That's all for this episode. Be sure to come back for another edition of Backstage Pass, Rockstar Pro Wrestling's official podcast.
Was he only 27?
I think so.
The fuck? There's no way.
27 or 29.
The fuck?